address the board?
No, thanks.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. No, I'd give you a couple minutes if you wanted to. All right. Is there any changes to the agenda or additions?
I do not believe so.
I don't have any, so I just need a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Motion carries. Mr. Johnson?
All right, plenty of time. All right, our attendance for April was 94.4%, a little bit lower than it has been the past few years. We had the 7 through 12 music concert on May 1st. K through 6 music concert was held on Monday, May 5th. Both concerts were excellent. Lots of people were here. At kindergarten graduation yesterday at 2 o'clock. Graduation went well on Saturday. Congratulations. Good luck to the class of 2025. We have most of our Smarter Balance testing results in. Started looking at it a little bit. Looking at all of our students, we had 41% proficient in science. The state average is right about 43%. In math, for all of our students, 146 students, we were 43% proficient. The state was 43%. For ELA, we're 48%, and the state was around 49%, so we're right in line with the state scores right now. 5th grade went to the Water Festival today. We have semester tests already, Thursday and Friday. We get out at 2 o'clock. Elementary's going on field trips to the bowling alley and the movies on Friday. And I have in-service Monday, and kids and teachers are pretty much out of here.
Proficient is 2 or 3?
3 or 4.
3 or 4, okay.
Yeah.
But 3 is proficient and 4 is something
like
more than
advanced.
proficient,
Yeah.
right? But I mean, 3 is
Yeah.
the minimum. to be
Yeah, 3 is the
proficient.
minimum for
I couldn't remember
proficient,
if it
so
was 2 or
3s and
3.
4s are proficient. And
Okay,
we're right around the state averages.
okay.
Any other questions for Mr. Johnson? All right, Luann?
A few things. Got certified contracts out and most all of those back in. Working on health insurance renewals. Everyone had those in by last Friday. I just need to get those finalized and approved so they'll take effect in June. Worked on the preliminary capital outlay budget, plus started some work on the other budgets for this next year. Also, there's going to be a new requirement for our board in July, where we're going to have to do it's called the open meetings law. We're going to have to present that brochure, and then also just list it in our notes that we handed it out and reviewed it. Just have to make a note of it in our minutes for our July meeting.
I think we usually get that in the new board member training too, so, yep,
It's
okay.
a new requirement, so.
Okay.
Other than that, working on getting stuff done.
What's the deadline to turn in contracts?
It was last Friday, May 6th? No, what was last Friday?
9?
2nd. It was,
No.
the contract was
The
May
9th.
2nd.
9th, 6th?
No,
May 2nd.
May 2nd.
May 2nd, yes. It was last Friday was for the insurance.
9.
Last Friday was the insurance, and the Friday was.
So May 2nd was the deadline for contracts, and we
Contracts,
still have
yes.
some that aren't in?
No, they're in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were all
Sorry,
in,
I
yes.
misunderstood.
Yeah, and insurance was last Friday.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, all contracts.
Thanks.
Any other questions for Luann? All right. Board reports. Dan?
I don't think I have anything.
Okay. Vicky? Jen?
Apparently my fingerprint isn't matching. It's the same fingerprint I've always used, so I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, I did the PLEC meeting.
Okay.
Let me find it, May 5th, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a long one. Increase the budget by, $10,000 because of the extra days. The budget hearing for PLEC will be at 7:10 June 2nd, if anybody would like to dial in for that. Oh my. I don't even know what that means.
No, July 10th, June,
June 2nd
June 2nd.
at 7:10.
All right, thank you.
2 contracts, 2 of the school psychs were leery to turn in contracts with the old salaries because negotiations were not completed yet. If they weren't turned in by a certain time, there was another school psych who would be interested that Terry was gonna get a hold of and interview. And then next year, the board of directors meetings will be the first Monday, except for Labor Day, we will meet on Tuesday. That was really it for PLEC. And then, didn't the board used to approve the slate of graduates?
Like up until about 9 or 10 years ago.
Okay, and that's not a necessary thing anymore?
No.
Okay, I don't know what made me think of that at graduation.
I think that was something that Mr. Rounds did. That was something from before, but we haven't.
We don't, it's not required at all?
No.
Okay. And then I guess I would just really like us to get back into going through policies because I think it's been since maybe Mary Beth was on the board that we've gone through policies.
Tracy.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that we really need to go through and update policies and we really need to get an AI policy added.
Yeah, and we had talked about getting one of those.
Mhm.
And I know that the ASBSD one has already gone through a couple revisions, but it's not that we can't revise it once we have it.
Right.
Also, if they revise it again too, we should definitely get something on that.
And I talked to a gal that teaches 10 through 12 English in Parker, and their policy sounded pretty complete. I could get on and see if I could pull that, just as another policy to look at.
Yeah. Wonder where they got it from.
I'm guessing it started with ASBSD
Yeah.
and then they added to it.
Yeah.
And we can decide, I think almost every school either gets ASBSD or they go through
KSB.
KSB, yes, Tyler covered it all. I think that's the new.
What's that one?
KSB is a law
Law.
firm.
Oh, okay.
There's strictly school law. firm.
They're the ones we would maybe look at, like when Rodney finally retires.
I think he has a grandson that's
Oh,
maybe taking it.
okay.
I don't know. He could be 45.
He's got a daughter that's part of the firm too.
But yeah, we should, pull policies and review them.
I will, next meeting, I will bring proposals from ASBSD and KSB as far as what their policy stuff is.
And then I know I probably, I'm bringing it up again, I really think that we need a employee handbook. So I'm just throwing that out there again. That's
The
all
only
I
thing
have.
I'm leery about with the handbook, and so we would want to work with Rodney on that, is if it is part of a contract, like if it creates a part of a contract that isn't in the negotiated agreement. So I just want to make sure we don't have, you know, that they aren't contractually bound by things in the handbook that aren't in the negotiated agreement, but
Right, just,
Maybe there's
just the
something
things
we
that
can
aren't in
call
the
it.
agreement, I mean, for,
conduct and like putting grades in, stuff like that.
yeah, those
Mhm.
kinds of things that are job expectations, but they aren't negotiable, they're,
Yeah. Yeah. Did you check with, did you check with some of this other superintendent, Scott, on what they kind of did?
Nobody ever got back to me, other
Okay.
than Joel from the meeting before.
Okay. Yeah, so we can look into how that would work. But I'm sure they could work together somehow.
I mean, and for all staff, I mean, it, you know, just hours for the different departments, and, I mean, it could just,
Attendance, dress code, like those
Yeah,
kind of
just
typical things.
in general, and then it can have specific pieces for different departments too, not just necessarily for teachers, but,
Yeah.
You have one down there?
oh yeah.
School food,
Yeah.
right? You're part of the ESBSD, aren't you, or whatever
Oh,
down there?
no, not
You used
anymore.
to be.
But we were, and we
Okay,
did
okay.
have a handbook then
Alright.
too.
I
We've
could
always had a
probably
handbook.
get some different handbooks from other schools too.
Mhm. That's all I have.
Lisa?
No, I was gonna bring up the policy thing. I actually had a parent ask me about that. They pulled one to look at it for some reason and said, boy, that's old. I'm
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
noted.
Yeah, some of them are. And some of them haven't
And even
changed
just a
a lot,
note.
but.
Note on them that, you know, a date that it was reviewed, at least then if people looked at it, they would know
And you can
that.
just literally up,
Yep,
I mean,
yep, dated date,
2025,
yep,
you don't have to
yep.
switch it. but-
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. We did negotiations, I thought those went well, it only took one day, so that's always good. And other than that, I thought, graduation went well, I had a lot of comments on that people hadn't been in our school before, and said looked really nice, they liked the way they did it, like that it was short, not super long, so, good job, Scott.
It's under a little pressure.
No, that's all I have. Scott?
Right, we'll be submitting our year-end reports for the state here. Some of them are due in June, just checking everything off to make sure everything is entered. We did finish up our PLEC negotiations for the school psychs. Must have been the day after you guys met, I think. We did that. This will come up a little bit in the preliminary capital outlay, but we are looking to overhaul the playground area this summer as far as cleaning out all the mulch, redoing that, looking at some asphalt overlay and things, and I still don't know what I'm gonna do about the grass, just because it's such a small area and it just gets beat up. So we are looking to do quite a few upgrades out there. We will advertise looking for a used bus. We have to, just because of the bid laws. So if you see an ad in the Moody County Enterprise, says we're looking for a bus, you'll be like, who's gonna see this? The auditors like it. So anyway, I'm hoping, with the end of the year coming up, Foreman's gonna have a few buses that we can look at in the range we want. I talked about redoing the hoops in the old gym. Those have all been updated. The 4 side hoops will adjust anywhere from 8 to 10 feet for like the youth basketball. And then we did put safety straps on every hoop, and then we put safety straps on every hoop in the new gym too. Sioux Falls School District, they made it mandatory, I think, on every hoop in their district, they did it, and it's just it looks like a seat belt, it's just an extra safety thing so if something wears out or whatever, get those fixed. Lastly, the end of June 28th to be exact, Egan All-School Reunion, they're gonna be using gym and maybe some facilities to serve their meal for their reunion. So that part of their reunion will be in the building. I think that's all I have for myself.
Any questions for Scott?
Just that you brought up the Egan All-School Reunion just made me think of the Egan building. Did we ever get a hold of that guy to see if we could get that sign back?
The yellow sign?
Mm-hmm.
I have not, but I can.
I mean, we just talked about that and it was probably a year ago, but that's the way my brain works.
Your memory is better than mine. I will see if I can get a hold of someone.
Well, the original guy, didn't he pass away?
You know, there was like an electrical fire there or something a month or two ago. Not here, there.
Yeah, like 2 months ago.
Okay.
Oh, really?
The original owner passed away, it's his son. He comes up for a couple months every summer.
Any other questions for Scott? Alright. Then we get on to the consent agenda, it's kind of a long one, so, it's approval of the previous minutes, approval of bills and reports, approval of the certified staff contracts, and then approval of resignation of Ashley Milbrandt, resignation of Bodie Gross as the JV girls basketball coach, and approval of him as the JV boys basketball coach, approval of Kate Fowler as the JV girls basketball coach and the JV football coach, Dakota Johnson as the JV football coach, Josh LeBrun is the junior high girls basketball coach, and classified contracts with salary to be determined, and Grant Deitch as AD contract salary to be determined. If anybody would like to pull anything for further discussion, otherwise I just need a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Additional bills. Don't have any. Perfect. All right. Item 9, approval of school board resolution authorizing membership in the South Dakota High School Activities Association.
So we do this every year. It's not due till July. This is not any of the amendments, but since this came in the mail, I just wanted to run it through, and it looked like we did last month in May. So this is just saying that, yes, we would like to be a part of the Activities Association. I just need Kirsten to sign it if you approve it, so.
So we just need a motion to approve our membership in the Activities Association.
Make a motion.
Second.
Okay, Dan made motion, Melissa second. All those in favor, aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. And approval of the negotiated agreement with the CEEA for the 25-26 school year.
Second.
Nikki second. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Discussion on the potential track and football field complex.
Right, so I was able to meet with the second landowner today. They just got back. He's got some ideas on the land, which I would need to meet with Melissa and Kirsten to go over numbers and stuff on that. Other than that, we have not met with anyone or talked with any, I mean, as far as,
Well, he was gone for like a month.
he was
Yeah.
pretty much ready for the last meeting. So anyway, I guess that would be the next thing to look at the land negotiations. But other than that, there hasn't been any talks with any companies, so that is it.
Any questions on that? Approve the SPED comprehensive plan.
I apologize, that got sent out late to you today. Dawn really didn't say there was a whole lot of changes in there, and basically you just have to approve it, and I have to sign it. You don't even have to sign it, Kirsten. So
Okay.
There were no big changes to anything
nothing
from
that
the last year.
typically they will point out one or two things if there is, and she did not note anything. So, and I don't know, I think it was the last year Kristen was here. I know that they kept having to make amendments to it. So one year I think we had to do it 2 or 3 times, but nothing that she brought to my attention.
So we just need a motion to approve the comprehensive plan then.
Make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Discussion on the preliminary capital outlay budget.
All right, since it is preliminary, me and Luann have been looking at it the last week or so. We still have left a few line items on just because those things have not been accomplished. For instance, as it's proposed right now, we're about $220,000 spending into reserves. However, we did leave in the bathroom remodel, which is part of the addition project. So until some of those things are done, we have just let them sit, okay? The big ones, here again, depending upon, because we had budgeted for a bus this year, and we were looking to buy a vehicle the next fiscal year, and hopefully the clean diesel bus shows up sometime. Anyway, vehicles are still gonna stay close to about 200,000. That's gonna stay there. We are looking to get more information on, as far as the playground stuff, how much we're gonna do there. That could vary by 20 to 30 to 40,000 very easily. So, we are hoping to have that balanced, or close to balanced, when we do approve it. But just because there are items that have been on here, and we don't have to approve it tonight, we have left those on there. However, we are looking at just a little bit south of $100,000 for roof replacements, which those will take place this summer. the three, actually they're the three smallest roofs, but they're the ones that they have identified as the most in need of being replaced first, so. And then we'll kind of continue on, sort of on that schedule. Melissa remind me that I'll visit with you, because I kind of presented that at the meeting when you were gone in April, as far as the 5, which got extended to 7-year plan with roofs and vehicles on that. Otherwise, I mean, there's grounds maintenance updates. You know, there's gonna be very limited furniture that we're getting for the new part, just because in theory, we do have desks and chairs and tables for 320 to 330 kids, so. And some of that might fall under the bond part. Some of it might go into capital outlay, depending on the timing of it. Yeah, otherwise, I would say 70% of it's probably kind of status quo as far as renewals and licensing and, you know, buying furniture, activity equipment stuff. That's just very preliminary.
We don't have the certificate payments and interest on that anymore either.
Those come off. We have 2 or 3 minivans, 2 minivans or 3 minivans in the expedition?
4.
4.
So,
Grant told me to take the new one and it had like 135,000 miles on it.
that's the newest one. So we're looking to
New to you.
update some of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
One minivan is set up for driver's ed. It's got the
Yeah.
brake and stuff, so that works. We have one that's used strictly for transporting a student.
Okay.
So when I say 4, that's one. We have 2 other ones, and we have the Expedition. So we will be
Okay.
looking to do one of those, because the other 2 have more than 135,000 miles,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, I don't disagree with keeping the transportation budget up there a little bit.
Yeah.
Any questions on the capital outlay budget? All right. Update on the construction project edition.
All right, they are not quite done on the inside, getting closer. 2 issues that we ran into is some of the tile for the bathroom is sitting on the dock somewhere because of the tariffs, they're not unloading it. So we might have to look at doing some different tile or different color, not at the end of the world. And also our lockers, which we were able to get through Tony Hansen with Combined, his kids go to school here. There's kind of a tariff issue with those too, so hoping to have those August 1st-ish, but those are very minor. We did set a June 5th date for a punch list for interior inspections. I'm not saying that everything will be all done by then, but any inspections that they need to do could be completed at that time. And then once those are done, we can begin to move stuff in.
That's exciting.
Not saying everything will be done, but I went out there today and they had carpet in one of the rooms. Almost all the ceiling tiles are in, and yeah, they started hauling away outside to prepare to do the outside, so.
Do they think the outside will be done by June 5th also?
I don't believe so, and they did not give me a timeline on that as far as boulevards and sidewalks and
Sure.
all that, so.
And then when are they starting on the bathroom?
They hope to start May 19th,
Okay.
Monday.
The elementary one.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
so, and
Is
we're kind
that
of
the
aware
tile
of
we're
that.
waiting for?
Huh?
Or is that the tile we're waiting for, or the tile for the addition?
In the addition.
Okay.
There's like 2 or 3 different tiles, and we had picked sort of a yellowish tile to put in, and we might not get a yellowish tile if it sits in the dock of the bay or wherever. That's an old time song.
Did we ever opt for the third-party inspection?
We did not do was that called credentialing?
I think so.
I had talked to a couple contractors from like Beckenhofer and then another one, and explained, they live within the district, and they said with what our project was, that they would not recommend it.
Okay.
Just because there wasn't a whole lot of mechanical things and whatnot, so.
How's the budget? Are we still pretty close?
Good. No, it's, I am
Yeah, I
sorry.
know.
Budget's always good. I would have to double check. We did not get any change orders since the last meeting. We're somewhere in that $40,000 to $50,000 of change orders, which right now sits at about 1%. So I think they were saying it's not out of the ordinary to have 5% worth of change orders, so.
We might need new tiles.
Well, they'll just swap them out, so hopefully that's not a big deal. Any questions on that? We are looking to do some sort of a open house, other than when we do the open house for back to school. There's some kids looking to do some stuff, maybe the first part of August, as far as kind of making an event and whatever, so, yeah, that's what we're looking at towards an open house thing.
Alright, any other questions for Scott on the construction timeline? Alright, then I just need a motion for executive session for SDCL 125-24 for negotiations.
I'll make a motion.
Melissa second, all those in favor, aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. 6:56, Lillian.
How or when or how will the video be available, or what's the plan there?